nights you don't get good goaltending. Tonight, you got excellent goaltending. Korpisalo in there gave up one goal all night. And the offense couldn't do a thing. Philadelphia gifted you a power play in the third period, and you did nothing with it. There was no urgency. I think the guys care. I do. I think they care. Something isn't right. The combinations aren't right. The chemistry isn't right. I mean, I'm trying to give them an excuse when I tell you they're slow. Tonight, they couldn't do anything. There was one chance in that third period where Marchand tried to throw the puck in the net. Besides that, nothing offensively. It's not good enough. Montgomery after the game, it's not good enough. We're not doing enough to generate high danger scoring chances. We're all culpable for not coming out with a victory. And we went over these numbers the other day, but as far as high danger situations, they were one of the worst in the league. They didn't even show up on the page when they were showing the graph. Let's line up the phone lines. You're coming home from the game tonight. Embarrassing effort. 1-3-1 now their last 5 games. They lose to the Flyers, who lost to Montreal the other night. You thought the Bruins might have had something going with their win. Instead, we're now trying to find out exactly what their identity is. Let's line up the phone line. 617-779-0985. We're here till 11 o'clock. So 1 full hour to react to the Bruins loss tonight. 2-0. Shutout again. We'll get right into it first. We'll give you the scores that are happening right now, including the World Series Game 4. What is going on with the New York Yankees? We'll tell you right now in Sports Hub Headlines.
WBC-FM and HD Boston.
Patriots!
From the opening kickoff to the final play.
Touchdown!
Your home of the pass.
Yes.
98.5. The Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub Headlines.
Bruins fall 2-0 tonight to the Philadelphia Flyers. They generated nothing. Had multiple power plays tonight and could not get a goal. Joonas Korpisalo just gave up the one. He gets the loss. He stopped 17 shots on the night. Bruins now 4-5-1 on the season. They take on Carolina on Thursday night. Patriots gearing up for Sunday's game against Tennessee. They'll be back in practice tomorrow, hoping to get an update on Drake May. Some other NFL news. Ravens acquire Deontay Johnson. Stephon Diggs has a torn ACL. He's done for the year. Joe Flacco named the Colts starting quarterback, and the Vikings traded for tackle Cam Robinson from Jacksonville. Celtics in action tomorrow night in Indiana. Sam Hauser's listed as questionable. And at the World Series, Game 4, Dodgers have a 3-0 lead right now. 5-4 Yankees top of the 6th inning. Headlines, they are brought to you by... Just got to get you the sponsor here because my paper is stuck together. Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update in 30 minutes.
Listen to it. Laugh at it. Get mad at it. Agree with it. Argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5. The Sports Hub.
If you need tires, think... Dude.
Oh, back here 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. So, The Bruins lose tonight. They get shut out 2-0 at home. I don't know what else to tell you. Every night I've been on after the games, despite the last one, I don't know what their identity is. Last year, they were a team that could stop shots and net. This year, they got it tonight. Korpisalo was good. 17 saves, faced a ton of pressure situations and made stops. But the Bruins had no urgency offensively tonight. Montgomery tried switching up the lines. It didn't work. I mean, at this point, I feel like they're too slow. They have no chemistry whatsoever. But they have no identities. Their problem. Are they a hard-hitting team? Are they a team that likes to get out in front and pack it in? What are they? I feel like they're old and they're slow. Their best player is David Pastrnak, no doubt about it. Where else can they get scoring from? This was one of the concerns going into the season. What are they going to do with that second line? There's no speed. There's no scoring. They're not getting much offensively from their defensemen. It's just, what's their identity right now besides looking slow? Slow, heavy, what everybody wanted, right? Because of last year they get beat up in the playoffs because they aren't strong enough or tough enough. So what do? They go out and get heavy players, skillful players. They're slower now. They moved on from guys with speed. It's just the same thing to me. You thought they could build off Saturday's win. Right? On the power play tonight, lifeless on 5 power plays. Did you know that Philly scored, or actually their defense and goaltending gave up 40 goals in 9 games going into this one, and the Bruins couldn't score a goal tonight? It's the same thing that happened against Dallas the other night. Dallas, one of the worst teams in the NHL on the power play. They scored 3 power play goals in 3 minutes. The Bruins outshot Philly tonight 24-19, and they were gifted a power play in the third period and did nothing. There's no offense, there's no urgency, and there's no identity. Shut out for the second time at home this year? I don't know what to tell you anymore. Wasn't the goaltending. I can't blame the defenseman. I mean, there's been issues all year long trying to score goals. There's issues trying to stop goals. Tonight, you stop goals, you can't score goals. You can kill penalties, but now you can't kill penalties, and now you can't score on the power play. What is it? Is it the coach? What is it? There's no chemistry and there's no identity, that's for sure, with this team. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. I don't know where else to go here. They're slow. They're heavy. Now they can't score. What is it? What can they do? And here's the deal. You're going to call in and complain about Neely and Sweeney? Well, weren't these guys upgrades? Did you see what happened to Zadorov tonight? Is Lindholm not doing the job? Was it moving on from guys that were good here? It's everybody. Everything's a problem right now. How do they fix it? If you just fire the coach, who do you replace him with? When do you bring up Lysell and put some life into the offense? And I don't even know if that works, but you got to try it, right? They're so slow. And I called this thing out months ago. They're slow. It's bad. How do you fix it? Let's go to the phones here. Let's talk to Trevor. He's in Rhode Island. Hey, Trevor.
Hey, mate. I'm a lifelong Flyers fan living in Rhode Island. I drive up for most of these games to Boston, never expecting much. And today was the first time that I felt like I was watching a Flyers home game, not a Bruins home game. The Bruins reminded me of the Flyers. Normally it is us, hanging on, fighting for a comeback. And today I felt vindicated watching the Bruins.
So you think that's their identity now, is the Philadelphia Flyers who like that rugged style?
It feels like it. Yeah. I don't like it, but they do feel old. They feel slow. They feel like the upper management's making poor decisions. They're grasping at what they used to be, and it's not what they are anymore.
Ooh, good call, Trevor. Wow, did you hear that, Bruins fans? A Flyers fan is saying that you're now them after being shut out 2-0 tonight. Think about it. The Flyers over the years, what do you know about them? Tough team, loves to fight. Will be really hard out, but in the end, they suck. And as he put it, living off what they used to be. Ooh, for the Bruins, ooh. 617-779-0985. Mike's in Florida. Hey, Mike.
Hi.
Hi.
This team has two problems, and they need to straighten them out right away, or the season's going to be over because they're in the toughest division in sports with the most competition, and it's going to slip away real quick. They got a coach who was brought in for a team that existed 2 years ago for Jake DeBrusque and a couple other young players to be coach-friendly. That team doesn't exist anymore. They need to replace the coach, and they need to make cap space immediately so they can sign their tryout guy who had a great camp in Tyler Johnson and get a veteran center that can create goal scoring on this hockey team because they're slow because they don't care. They don't like the coach. The coach is playing in frustration because he doesn't have a contract. He's not liked by the team, and they're playing like they don't give a damn. And they're going to have to straighten it out quick or their season's going to be over because they are in the hardest division in sports. And that's that.
Thanks, Mike. Good call. Sound like you were running. How many times have we talked about Tyler Johnson, Skaz?
Look, I like Tyler Johnson. He's a good player, but now he's the savior. Now we're banking on Tyler Johnson to fix this Bruins team.
This is it. There's two solutions.
Also push back strongly on the hardest division in all of sports. A division that has the Buffalo Sabres, Ottawa Senators, and a Montreal team that hasn't been good in I don't know how long. I don't think I'd consider it the toughest division in all of sports.
Okay, that might have been a little hyperbolic.
Tyler Johnson, the savior. Not that that's a big ask or anything.
Well, no, I mean, I feel like it's the same way with Fabian Lysell. Like, do you depend on Lysell being the savior too? I do agree. I think Tyler Johnson should be on the team. But why not? Like, Patriots trying out there,
getting punched in the head earlier tonight.
Exactly. Like, if they're so heavy, the guys that are fast and they're trying to develop are the ones getting pushed around, right? I don't think Tyler Johnson would. I'm not saying he's an upgrade. I'm just saying that he wouldn't. Lysell, though, would give him speed and maybe some shooting ability. But does he then now make mistakes? And now you have a rookie making mistakes on the roster, right? I don't know if they can afford that. The Montgomery thing, huh? Do they hate their coach? He is a lame duck. I'll throw this one out at you, too. We're coming up on Halloween. November 1st is Friday. Usually around Thanksgiving is when you know a team's a playoff team or not. So to the last caller, although I think he was a little hyperbolic, they do have to get it together in the next 25 days. It's a lock. You're in the playoff hunt around Thanksgiving. Generally, you make the playoffs. We're a month away right now. 1 month away. Team needs to get it together. 617-779-0985. Patrick's in Billerica. Hey, Patrick.
Hey, what's up, boys? Another awful game. I feel like the team, they're not inspiring. They're soft. They're not tough. The power play is just a complete disaster. I don't know what they can do, but something's got to start changing because everybody's tired of this.
Yeah, I mean, you fire the coach, then what? What's the solution after that? Where do you go, Joe Sacco? I'm just trying to think. Where do you go? What's the solution? Firing Montgomery. Just I don't know. Maybe I'll send out a text and say, hey, if Montgomery got canned, who do you want? Should I start my next Bruins head coach odds? Might have to look into that a little bit, but They need something offensively. I think it's Lysell. I'm not saying he's the answer. I just think that he brings speed and will shoot the puck. At the same time, he may make mistakes as a rookie. This is the position they put themselves in. They didn't start the year. They bet on the veterans over the young players like Merkulov and Lysell. Johnson, they didn't even sign. They had Tufte here and some others. Kastelik's been good. But they went with the veterans instead of the young players who were in their system. And now to make a move, that's who they have to depend on? Or a guy that's not even in the league? Tough spot. Lucas in the car. Hey, Lucas.
Hey, I think Tyler Johnson's impact immediately would be huge for this team. I mean, he's a smaller guy, but he's super fast. He actually had a decent amount of points for the Blackhawks next year.
Yeah.
I know you think it's going to be a Lysell, but we can afford Tyler Johnson now because we sent Tufte down a couple days ago. I'd love your thoughts on that. Thank you.
1.1 million left. They could sign him if they want. You know, was it last year? I believe they signed a PTO deal, I think maybe into November-ish. So maybe they're still trying to figure out a move there. I think Johnson can help on multiple levels. Is it the fix, though? Is he the chemistry piece that they need? I don't know. I don't think so. But why not at this point? He's here. He's working out. They like him at practice. He put up points in the preseason. Yes, he had a pretty good he's not the guy in Tampa Bay he once was. But can he move the puck and make good decisions and help out on a power play and a bench? I think so. Rob's in the Cape. Rob.
Yay.
Hey.
You know, I think this downfall started when Pastrnak had to fight Kachuk, your top scorer, fighting Kachuk at center ice. It's absurd. Why someone didn't jump off the bench and take a suspension or whatever it takes. But you can't let that happen. I know he asked. The coach said yes. Marchand gets elbowed in the head, punched. You got to play with snub. Hockey is a game of hate. These players don't hate stuff enough. They don't hate losing the puck. They don't hate losing the game. They're too nice. Think of the last team they had that won the Stanley Cup. Look at the lineup. McQuaid, Thornton, Chara. Guys were afraid of. The other team thinks of that.
I think they did that this offseason and they're worse now. I think they got heavy this offseason. I mean, there are people who call in and upset with management. They signed the best center available and one of the best defensemen available. How is management on the line for that? When you put people in place and a team together and you don't perform on the ice, someone's going to take the blame. It'll probably be the coach because he can't figure it out with this group. But at some point, when it comes to the Boston Bruins, for years, everyone got their contract extension. Everyone was so comfortable. If a coach made a move, they moved on from it. They brought Montgomery in. They're the best team in hockey. They get bounced in the first round. Last year, there's goaltending. Who's going to be the goalie? Who's going to be the goalie? They had that whole thing. They advanced to Game 6 against the team that won the Stanley Cup championship. Then they make two big acquisitions in the offseason. They move on from DeBrus that everybody wanted to move on from, and they gave Swayman the contract that everybody wanted. At some point, when do you get on the players for this? 5 power plays, nothing. You had 3 shots in the third period. You're down 1-0, then 2-0. 3 shots? That's what you mustered? At some point, it's on the players. 617-779-0985. We're here till 11 o'clock. I'm Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
All right, back here in 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Bruins lose tonight 2-0. Shutout for the second time at home this year. 3 shots in the third period. You outshot Philly tonight 24-19. Korpisalo started. He's been sitting down for 13 straight days. And he was good. He gave up 1 goal. If Korpisalo gave up 1 goal against the Flyers, if I told you that, you would have thought they won the game. Now they get Carolina on the road, Philly again on the road. They get Seattle at home. Maybe they need those 2 days on the road. Things are too easy for this team right now. You know, Montgomery's gone at players before. And I'm curious if this contract thing's hanging over the team. Like, could it be hanging over the team? Brad Marchand's in the final year of his deal. There's been extension talk, but he shot that down. What about Montgomery? What's his status? Is he coming back? Does the team hate him? What's the deal with that? He was brought in to come in and help out some younger players years ago. That's true. Is he the right guy for this team? I don't know. I thought he was. I thought he was the right guy. So, I don't know what to go from here. I've given you Tyler Johnson. I've given you Fabian Lysell, just as far as some lineup changes go. Korpisalo gave you what you needed tonight. The offensive attack, I don't know what to do. Like, is Marchand now a guy you need to move down? There's no one to replace him. You have no one to replace on that second line. No one. Do you put Tyler Johnson there and move Coyle over? Like, what do you do? Second shutout this year. Philly gave up 40 goals going into this game, and the Bruins got nothing. Nothing! So much for building off the win the other night. 617-779-0985. The Bruins continue to struggle offensively. They had plenty of offensive zone ice time tonight. Samuel Ersson, 22 saves, his first shutout of the year. The Bruins' power play used to be a thing of beauty. Now, the power is shut down. 4 power play opportunities, including a 5-on-3 for 1 minute and 37 seconds, and they can only get 2 shots off. I mean, they did well with possessions of the puck and all that. But they couldn't get any shots off. Montgomery tried to change up some lineups. He mixed up forwards late. Brad Marchand joined David Pastrnak on the top line with Lindholm at one point. Zacha dropped down to the second line to join Charlie Coyle. He moved Kastelik from the fourth line up at one point to play with Coyle and Zacha. Morgan Geekie took Kastelik's spot. He got moved down. They couldn't do anything. 2 shots through 16 minutes of the third period. What? Like Korpisalo tonight was good. And that's the performance they give. Korpisalo, again, started his 3rd game of the year. He had a couple of big saves early on in the game. Had that mistake on the Forster 5-hole? 17 saves, his second loss now of the year. They take on Carolina. They go on the road next. Was Montgomery out-coached tonight by Tortorella? Your thoughts, 617-779-0985. We got John. He's in the car. Hey, John.
Hey, Joe. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, just coming from the game. Frustrating game. I really felt like Philadelphia got sticks out there at crucial moments, and the Bruins were careless with pucks at crucial moments, especially on that 5-on-3, trying to feed things, through sticks and not getting there. And then, McAvoy at the end gives up the puck and it's, careless. And so it looks like they don't care. But I was up close. These guys are working hard. They're working hard in the offensive zone. I don't think it's a coaching problem, but I do want to talk about Lindholm getting signed for, $54 million guaranteed. He's invisible.
Yeah, I haven't been impressed at all.
No.
I have not. And I know I heard he's a great player.
Yeah, that's what everyone heard, but nobody's seen it.
They got to get a spark somewhere. You're hoping it's him. The guy scored early in the season. You figured get that one out of the way, right? Guys like to get that out of the way when they're on their first team. Let's look at Lindholm for a minute here. 20 minutes of ice time tonight. 3 giveaways. 1 hit. He had 5 shots on net. I mean, you need guys who can shoot. He had 5. Marchand had 3. Pasta had 3. Everybody, and Brazeau had 2. Who's, you know what? I like the fact he's doing that. I know Peak had a chance at one point. Yeah, you had 5, 3, 3, 2. Everybody else 1 or nothing. Beecher, nothing in his 9 minutes. Woof. Coyle had 1 shot. Geeky played 9 minutes as well, 1 shot. There was a lot of movement tonight. They couldn't figure it out. I don't think we will be able to either. Paul is in the car. Hey, Paul, you're on the Sports Hub.
Hey, Joe. Thanks for having me on. I'm on my way out of the city after my 3rd home game and 3rd loss of the season. I'm going to stop going, see what happens. There is no buzz in that building. These guys are flat. They're slow. They're careless. Your best players, are not your best players by a long shot. It's just a couple notables are Trent Frederick. Where is he? Marchand, there's obviously something going on with him, whether it's physical or mental. But that guy is he's out of it. It's frustrating to see, and the product is just it's suffering, and it's tough to watch as a fan. That's all, Joe. Thanks.
I'm sorry you're having that kind of. That would stop me from going to games too if the team was playing bad every time I went. Yeah, I wish I could tell you more. Like, they're not scoring, and then the nights when they give up goals, I blame the goaltending and the defense. Tonight, the goalie does well, and it's everybody else. It's just there's been no consistency. None. The other night, they're up 3-2, 2-1, whatever it was, and they give up a goal with under a minute to go. Like, that's Bruins. That's this year. I don't know what brand of hockey they're playing anymore. What brand of hockey is it? Are they a shooting club? Are they a hard-hitting club? Are they dumping chase? Like, what are they? Do they pack it in? I don't know what they are. I don't think they know what they are. Steve's in the car. Hey, Steve.
You know what, Joe? I think you just hit it on the head, man. This team just has no identity anymore. They're soft. They got no stones. I've been wanting Carlo off this team for 6-7 years now, and I'm just so done dealing with this. They bring in Zadorov. I have these big high hopes for him. Supposed to be an up-and-coming big defenseman. The kid looks lost out there. I mean, the team as a whole is discombobulated. I know we got a lot of new faces that's getting used to playing with each other, but when I'm sitting in the stands and I can see that you guys don't know how to play with each other, there's a problem. This team needs an identity. It needs a direction. They need to play with balls.
Good call. Yeah. I think they're trying. I think they care, all that stuff. Like, they want to get things right. I think they're pros, all that. I think they're a skilled group of players. But they're missing speed. They're too heavy. And they really don't have a top 6. They just don't. It's Pastrnak right now. You want to say it's Marchand. He's not that guy right now. Coyle plays hard. Is he a top 6 center? Is he a center? Second line center? I mean, Zach is a playmaker, but Is he a top guy? It's just, I think there's talent here. I think they have a good goaltender. I think they have talent in the minors, too. They're too heavy. There's no chemistry here. They're slow. They need speed. I think they need to get younger. Jeff in the car. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Yeah, say goodbye to Montgomery. No heart. They tuned him out. Like, Korpisalo played fine. Like, he did a fantastic job. I was at the game. There was zero heart, very little hitting. Who cares about fighting? Like, whatever. Like, some of you want it, some of you don't. Doesn't matter. It was an embarrassment. Like, they have tuned him out, and it's time for him to go, and it's not his fault. They've tuned him out. I mean, I don't know what the shelf life is for NHL coaches these days, but they have tuned him out, and, you know, it's a standard Tuesday night. You know, I didn't expect much going in there, but I didn't expect that against a gross, you know, a team that's not very good. And it is what it is, I guess, as Belichick says.
Yeah, I just, for all the people who want to say Montgomery's not getting the message out, I'll ask you who will, right? Jay Leach? Like, who, what are some names? I understand you need a shakeup at times. I get it. Totally get it. Like, is Jay Leach the guy? They brought him back this year. He was with Seattle for a bit. He was with the Providence team. Like, give me a name. Played in the league. Defensive-minded. Give me another name. Like Joe Sacco? Is there somebody outside the organization? Chris Kelly? I'm trying to think of other assistants. Skaz, I'm running out of answers, bro. I'm reaching. I'm hurting myself reaching so much right now with the Bruins. I don't know how to fix this thing. I don't know if they know how to fix this thing. Is firing the coach the way, Skaz? Do you think this is what they should do?
I mean, do I think it would help? Maybe short term, but this doesn't feel like a Monty problem. Maybe it is, but this just feels like a team issue. Something is wrong there. Maybe the coach, a coaching change would be good. At this point, it almost feels like they have to do something. They spent money in the offseason. This team is supposedly built to win now. Swayman just signed this huge contract. Lindholm, you mentioned, Zadorov. They brought these guys in to win hockey games now, and they're just not doing that. So if Monty has to be the fall guy, that's unfortunate. I thought he's done some pretty good things. Obviously, the playoff losses do come into question, but it's such a scapegoat thing to blame the coach. They didn't show up tonight. Maybe that's on the coach a little bit, not having his guys ready to go. Yeah. But at some point, it's on the players. This team is significantly better than the Flyers, significantly more talented. You want to say, we had our backup goalie in net tonight. He let up one goal against the Philadelphia Flyers. The Flyers routinely let up 3 to 4 goals a game. So for me, this was an effort thing. It's beyond frustrating to watch. Can somebody shoot on net, put the puck on net? They had 3 shots in the third period. I think we saw 3 shots in the third period of a 1-0 game. That's on the players. That's not on the coach.
I'll say this: Montgomery, I think, panicked too. Like, all right, let's try this lineup. Well, let's move this guy. Let's move him up to the second line. I think he tried everything. I hope he didn't run out of bullets tonight. Like, where does he go? When management brings him in and says, hey, man, what else? What do you think here? For the people who say, move on from Montgomery, what's your answer? I got Jay Leach and Joe Sacco. I mean, are those guys going to change things up? I don't know. I mean, at least Leach coached some of these guys. and has experience. I just think it's the players. Paul's in Hingham. Hey, Paul.
Hey, thanks a lot, Joe. I'm not surprised by the results because I really feel like, this goalie-heavy model isn't working for them. And last year in the playoffs, they had trouble scoring. Their defense was great, but they had trouble scoring against the Panthers. And I don't know. I just think their whole model is wrong, I mean, what do you think? Should they just draft a rookie goalie and trade Swayman? Or, there has to be something. What do you think?
I think that they should have went younger. They should have relied on their system and their scouts and put Lysell there early on, because if that didn't work out, then you had Tyler Johnson in your back pocket and a veteran. Instead, they went with other veterans, no Tyler Johnson, no Lysell, and here they are now, and they can't score. So it's just, I don't know what lever they're going to pull next.
Sad power outage, yeah.
Literally. Thanks, Paul. Literally. And the power outage is at the power play. Woof. Woof, woof, woof. It is bad. Woof. Vomit bad. Get the final look at the headlines tonight. We'll tell you what's going on in the World Series game, and we'll wrap things up. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
Bruins lose 2-0 tonight. Had 4 power play opportunities, but only got 3 shots on net in the third period. So you can react to the Bruins. I don't know what else to say. Like, just come out in a couple of days and just see what they do against Carolina. Maybe they need this time on the road. What else is going on tonight? Oh, the World Series. Right now, it's Yankees 6-4. Top of the 8th inning, but there was some drama early on. Long fly ball down the right field line. Mookie Betts goes over to the wall to catch it. He does. And then 2 fans rip the ball out of his glove. It was called out, but what a bad look. Yankees down. Yankees must know something about teams being down 3-0, huh? I never thought I'd use that one against them before. But it's 6-4 right now, Yankees, as they're trying to hang on. Of course, if the Dodgers win, they are the champions. And we got ourselves some drama here for the next inning or so. And, we'll see what happens right now because they certainly are threatening. Yep, 9th inning. So Yankees are going to 3 outs away from forcing a Game 5. Something else that happened tonight I wanted to bring up. The Minnesota Vikings are going to be without their top left tackle, Darrisaw, for a bit. And tonight, they traded for the Jaguars' offensive lineman in Cam Robinson. I literally mentioned this when the Patriots were in London. I said maybe the Patriots could make a deal to acquire Cam Robinson and bring him home from the Jaguars as something that teams that are struggling this year, maybe they can try to take a player. But Cam Robinson going to the Vikings as Darrisaw is out. The Vikings will receive a conditional a conditional 7th round pick will go. They receive a 2026 5th round selection that can become a 4th rounder. Robinson's 29 years old. He's in the final year of his contract. He's getting paid $16 million a year, but this is someone that you could find out if he can be a part of the mix. See if it works, and then you have the first right to sign him. Instead, he goes to the Vikings to help them. And all it cost was draft picks and you taking on the money the rest of the year. How did the Patriots miss out on this one? And I get it. The Vikings, they're thinking, we need to protect our quarterback. Right? They need to protect their quarterback. Well, what about the Patriots' future? I literally said this 2 weeks ago. They should go after Cam Robinson in the final year of his deal. Literally. And he goes to the Vikings now. And it's probably a short-term fix for the Vikings. They'll play there the rest of the year. They're 5-2. But are the Patriots going to do something now? Are they going to add to the team instead of selling some pieces off? I wrote an article at 985thesportsup.com that talks about that. You know, I think Jonathan Jones could get his 3rd round pick. I even think Godshot could too. Maybe a conditional 4th turns into a 3rd. Everybody else is 5th, 6th, 7th rounders. If Osborne leaves or Thornton goes, you're getting nothing. This team doesn't need to acquire more 6th round picks. You got to be more aggressive. I think if you give up Godshot, it takes away from your whole run defense this year, so probably not a good sign, but I'd do it. But here it is, a guy in the final year of his deal who can play left tackle. And he just goes to the Vikings for late round picks or a 4th round pick, and you need tackles? Oh, that one hurts. I'm going to be thinking about that one. Patriots do get back to practice tomorrow. We'll get an update on Drake May, who's still in concussion protocol. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be Jacoby Brissett versus Mason Rudolph. Gross. Absolutely gross. Hey, another thing tomorrow night, Celtics Pacers. Celtics go on the road. They take on the team that they swept last year, who are struggling right now from 3. But another look at one of these contenders for the Celtics. So we'll have the coverage with you tomorrow night at 6, and then Celtics coverage in postgame until 11 o'clock tonight. So tomorrow night, excuse me. So Bruins lose tonight 2-0. What happens tomorrow? I'm interested. They go to Carolina. They're on the road for 2 games. They got to show more on the offensive end. Yankees 3 outs away from